Tie ball game here at the JMA Wireless Dome in our season opener between the Moyne Dolphins and the Syracuse Orange. Alongside KRAC, and I'm Caleb Spinner. K, back and forth game. Syracuse starting to find momentum, and they've been able to claw their way back from a pretty large deficit, almost 10 points at one point.
Yeah, Caleb, I think they're just going to have to make sure that they're playing off one another, passing the ball along, but also getting comfortable taking their shots. Right now, they're only shooting 50% from the field compared to Moyne's 75%. Once they get into the groove, knocking these shots down, I think J.J. Sterling just knocked the shot off for them. So once they get into the move, knocking these shots down, it's going to be easier to, get that momentum and actually carry them through the rest of this half.
We were walking around before the game, watching as the dome filled up and fans came in they've been here for the exhibitions, but there's something about the first real game of the season. The energy has been incredible here in the dome. Otto's been walking around, shaking hands with everybody. This is Syracuse basketball, and it feels like in the second year of Adrian Autry, the fans have new life. They have bigger expectations after a really good season last year. It feels like right now this team is invincible, and the fans have a pretty good faith in what this team can do.
Yeah, no, definitely, Caleb. Coach Red has brought everything that Coach Jim Boeheim has left. He's making sure he keeps the momentum going and makes sure that people take pride in Orange basketball. And I think the amount of people in the dome today proves that.
When Coach Autry took the floor, they had a video tribute to him. They had his own little walkout. I got the keys. It was something like they were building the marketing of this game around his second year, and it makes sense when you put up 11 wins in the ACC in your first season, the first time that Syracuse has done that since back in 2013. There's a reason for the hype, and you're starting to see it here as Syracuse gets back underway with Moyne with under 8 minutes to play in the first half, and the score knotted at 21-all. Moyne will start off with it. First possession here out of the timeout. This is Trent Mascaro with it, near side wing. He'll hand it off to Dwayne Karoma. Karoma kicks it over to Bagatskis. Bagatskis back to Tekin. Tekin, right hand dribbles down the lane. At the block, pulls up and gets it off the glass for two. 23-21, the Dolphins retake the lead with 7.5 to go in the first half. Starling looking for a quick answer with Syracuse. He's at the center logo, lobs it down into the far corner. Freeman for three, buries that one. Puts momentum right back in the way of the Orange.
We talked about that earlier, him being somebody that's already being looked at going to the NBA this year.
The Orange up one, 24-23, 7 minutes to go first half, and a big-time three there to answer back from Jacob Blakely and Moyne. They retake the lead, 26-24. Starling moves it over to Taylor, almost picked off by the reaching Tekin. Inside to Freeman. Freeman nowhere to go, backs it out to Starling for three. Wide to the left, rebound, controlled just for a moment by Syracuse. Three green jerseys swarmed him. Freeman looks like he's going to get picked up for a loose ball foul. Check that, they'll give it to Fred's Paul's Bagatskis. Instead, it looked like the foul was going to be on Syracuse. Instead, it'll send Jair Davis to the line.
Yeah, earlier, man, it was looking like Donnie Freeman was on that block. He was on the elbow, trying to figure out where to pass the ball, and I think there was just a miscommunication, but luckily it worked out in their favor.
Davis makes the first of two. A make here would tie the game at 26-all with 6:40 to go in the first half. And he does, knocks it in. Tekin taking his time, bringing it up off the inbound on those two perfect free throws from Syracuse and Jair Davis. Over to the far wing, Bagatskis. Now back top of it all to Karoma. Karoma drives in, left-hand layup. Beat Freeman. Had a wide-open look to the hoop, and he did not miss. Made the most of that opportunity, 28-26, with 6.5 to go in the opening half of play.
Karoma's a guy that was a little bit quiet for Moyne in their first exhibition match, but today he's already at 4 points when he only had 6 in the first exhibition match and playing 15 minutes.
Freeman had to wait for a moment to inbound that under his own bucket as Moyne made substitutions. Now Syracuse a lob for an alley-oop. Freeman unable to put it through. The Dolphins in transition. Quick speed down the floor for Owens. Charges into the lane. Off target on the shot, but he'll get 2 opportunities at the line as he is fouled. They're going to charge that one to Jaquan Carlos. How about that? The Orange already to 5 team fouls. 2 away from moving into the bonus. At the line, shooting is Owens. He makes the first.
Yeah, Owens is a guy that played about 18 minutes for them last in the exhibition match, but he didn't score that many points, and he didn't get himself to the line at least once. So him making these 2 will give him some momentum to be able to carry them through the game.
Osai for Owens, 8.1 points per game last year. That's the most among these Dolphin returners. He missed that second free throw, so the score will stay 29-26 with a skosh over 6 minutes to play in the first half. Starling over to the near side. Carlos back down into the corner. Freeman pulls up for 3. Too strong on that. Rebound goes to Davis, who puts it in from the block and gets Syracuse within 1. 5:50 to play in the first half. Officials will call timeout for a Dolphin substitution. Trent Mascara checks back into the game.
Jair's a freshman. He's been to a couple different schools, Sanford, Providence, Delaware, but he's a guy that's a senior here. He really wants to make a name for himself this season, and Coach Autry's giving him that opportunity, and he's capitalizing on it.
Blakely inbounds to Trent Mascara on the left side wing, moves up to the top of the key, kicks it over to Tekin, far side. Tekin moving around across the court, drives in left side, has to pull back, threw it up with the one-hand layup, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar style. Freeman picked him off out of the air, and we're going to get a stoppage for a foul. They're going to give this to Zach Tekin.
Yeah, Tekin definitely slapped his wrist. You could have heard it if you were in here.
Syracuse with a one-on-one on the other end. They're now in the bonus. 29-28, the Dolphins over the Orange with 5:37 to go in the first half. Kay Racine alongside Caleb Spinner here on WSMC 44.1. Your Syracuse basketball season opener. Off target on the free throw opportunity. Driving in now on the other side is the Dolphins. Inside of the paint, Nate Fouts turns around from the near block, and he missed his opportunity there. Rebound goes to Jaquan Carlos.
And I think this is an opportunity to see really who Coach Autry is playing in a game like this. They're going back and forth. The score's really close, and there's guys that we're missing. We haven't seen Chance. He missed last season with a knee injury. We haven't seen Elijah Moore, and we haven't seen Kyle. So those are guys that we're ready to see get worked in this little rotation.
Syracuse still working around on their bench. Coach Autry still trying to find out his starting lineup. One big part of it there is Donnie Freeman, who cuts in and gets 2 points to put Syracuse ahead 30-29 with under 5 to go in the half.
Yeah, Caleb, this seems like the group of guys he's trusting right now to help carry them into a lead going into the half.
Zach Tekin on the right side wing, cuts back towards the top of the circle, hands it off now to Bagatskis for 3. Took a leap as he put that up. Not the best shot opportunity there. You could see Coach Nate Champion on the Moyne bench yelling at him. The ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by the Orange. Tekin will inbound under the basket. Score 30-29. Syracuse leading by 1 over Moyne with 4:34 to go in the first period. Moyne started off with great momentum. Syracuse began to answer back, pulled things even, and now they're out ahead to a slim lead. Tekin off the inbound, moves it over to Mascara. At the top, driving in, Blakely had it blocked, got a piece of it. Did J.J. Starling. Quick pass down the floor. Bell working in towards the hoop. Ball took a roll around the rim and decided to fall out. You could hear the crowd reacting to that one. They thought that was going to drop in. Instead, it's Moyne basketball the other way. Into the corner now, Blakely, far side, works it around to the wing, now up top to Bagatski. Back down to the wing, far side, pulling back for the 3. Mascara off target, rebound falls into the hands of Bell. Syracuse pushing the pressure with under 4 minutes to go in the opening half. Bell gets it off the smooth feed from Carlos, who was underneath the basket as he dished that back out behind him. Freeman moves into the block, spinning move, took a fall down to the floor, looked like he was hit. No call from the officials. Nastorovic took care of it, and it got knocked out of bounds, so we will stop the clock at 3:44 left in the first period. Your score, Syracuse 30, Moyne 29.
It looks like the official got a touch on the ball a little bit there in that play.
That's not what they mean by officials getting into the ball game, Kay. At least I hope not. That seriously is, it's against their role, right? You're not playing, you're officiating.
Yeah. just want to get a little touch on the ball, live his glory days.
We talked a little bit about head coach Adrian Autry for Syracuse, mentioned he was still building his starting lineup, said during ACC Media Days, I've got a lot of decisions to make this year with this team, so I want to get a chance to see everything. Kay, you were there. What did you make of Adrian's comments? What did you think about this roster and the starting five that he put out on the floor now, what you've seen from them?
I think the starting five that he's chosen are guys that he thinks is a solid group of guys. And of course, he wouldn't put them in if he didn't already knew that. But Coach Autry told me, he said, hey, we're building a new team dynamic this year. I'm pushing these guys harder. I'm making sure they know what they're going to get from me. And I'm going to give it to them to make sure they know their roles. And I talked to J.J. Sterling and I talked to Chris Bell. And they said both, Kay, Coach knows who we are going to be this year. And we want to believe that. J.J. Sterling, Chris Bell referred to him as the Kobe Smart of basketball. Coach put us in positions to succeed, and every single guy that he's put on the court tonight, he's put it in a position to succeed, and we're seeing that as the momentum shifts to Syracuse leading.
Chris Bell led the team last year in three-point percentage with 42%, and at the free throw line, just over 84 at that clip. Speaking of team leaders, on the other side, Nate Champion, the head coach of Moyne, has been building his presentation so far around Nate Fouts. He's the returning field goal leader at about 51% from the floor, but somebody we haven't seen was last year's three-point leader, Kalen Thomas. He's been noticeably absent from this game. Somebody that Moyne, at some point in this game, sooner rather than later, is going to want to get involved.
And once he does get involved, Syracuse is going to have to make sure their hands are up, they're moving, they're where they're supposed to be, because he can be dangerous and he can harm them later on in this game if they don't make sure they keep an eye on him and make sure they're paying attention to once he starts heating up.
Thomas was hitting from beyond the arc at 42%, which is, you've heard Steph Curry. He's above that level. That's impressive right there.
Above Steph? Come on now, Caleb.
I would debate. See, I had this debate the other day when I was talking about the best three-point shooters of all time, and of course Steph Curry's name's going to come up as it always does. But when somebody who you forget to mention back in the olden days, and our Professor Park, if he's listening to this, he's going to hear olden days. What do you mean? I was growing up when these guys were playing. But Pistol Pete Maravich and Larry Bird, two great shooters. They don't necessarily command your attention like Curry does, but I think they're worth a look, right?
Yeah, I think they're definitely worth a look. And Chris Bell, again, I know we talked about him a little bit when you were talking about Thomas, but Chris Bell for sure. I think he's one of those smooth criminals, those easy guys. He shoots the three, and it's like, it's just smooth. You just know what's going in.
Chris Bell and Kalen Thomas, one for the Orange, one for the Dolphins, but they both had the same clip last year at 42% from beyond the rainbow.
Yeah, very similar guys.
Inbound here from Jaquan Carlos, looking for somewhere to go with it, dumps it inside to Mastorovic. Mastorovic turns around for the post hook, rejected once, went up the second time, blocked back into his face, and he throws down an opponent to the floor. Will Amika goes for a ride. As he tried to grab onto that ball, Mastorovic was having none of it, trying to pull it away, and instead you get a Dolphin going swimming across the hardwood.
He wasn't doing nothing but showing a little passion, Caleb. That's it. A little passion for the game. You gotta love the game, man. You can tell that kid loves it.
They teach you when you're the size of Mastorovic, don't bring it low where all the shorties can get it. Keep it up top. He brought it down there. Latching onto it was Amika. And Amika paid the price for that one. He's not going to try to fight with Mastorovic anytime soon, you got to imagine.
Definitely not.
Zach Tekin bringing it across the floor, up across the half-court line with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Syracuse leading Moyne by 1, 30-29 in the opening game of the season here at the JMA Wireless Dome. Spinning away from the rack at about mid-range, Blakely. His shot was off target, but Dwayne Caroma rising up out of the paint to not get over the rim. Moyne retakes the lead 31-30. Carlos drives in for Syracuse, and he had it blocked away by Fred's Paul's Bagatskis. Bagatskis will pick up the foul and send Carlos to the line. It'll be the second assessed to Moyne, number 12, Bagatskis.
Yeah, Gaskins has definitely been a prominent guy in this game right now. He's actually making sure he makes plays for the Dolphins, and he's been very detrimental to the Orange. And so if they don't get him in check, he's going to be somebody that you're going to have to look out for going into this second half.
Carlos, soft target on his first free throw, thought about going in, swirled around the rim, and then fell out. It'll keep the score. Lemoyne ahead of Syracuse by 1, 31-30. A chance to tie it, though, on the second free throw from Carlos, and he does just that. 31 all now as Lemoyne will make substitutions. Thanks so much for spending your Monday night with us here at the JMA Wireless Dome on 44.1 WSMC. Glad to have you with us here alongside Kat Racine. I'm Caleb Spinner, and we've all been waiting for Syracuse basketball to come back. So have the fans here. They've turned out big for the opening game of the year of the Orange. Spinning with the ball is Nate Fouts. Looks for somewhere to go, finds Blakely. Blakely back to Fouts outside the three-point line, moves it over to Tekken. Tekken drives in right side at the elbow. He pulled up for it, lost the ball midair. Carlos took a swipe at it, and as he was coming down, Tekken made sure to sell it like Carlos made contact with him, and they're going to get a foul for Syracuse. Adrian Autran out of his chair with his hands up.
Yeah, I think Coach Autry's just annoyed at the amount of fouls being called, and they're little things. These guys are trying to keep their hands up. They're trying to move around the ball, trying to make sure they're not, getting their hands in the way to get these fouls, but they're getting called, and these officials are not playing this game.
Tekken, good on the first free throw. He's got one more coming up. Lemoyne now back in front, 32-31 with 2:53 to go in the first half.
I think the conversation that's going to happen during this halftime, Caleb, is, hey guys, what's going on? And whatever's going on, we need to fix it. We need to make sure our hands are up. We need to make sure we're not making easy mistakes.
Second free throw for Tekken off target, keeps the lead at 1 for the Dolphins. Carlos moving in on Tekken, puts a jab step, moves over to the right side, fishes it into the paint to Freeman. Freeman went up for the shot in close. He was knocked down. They're going to give a foul there to Dwayne Karoma. Karoma, a big part of the attack so far for the Dolphins. For him to get another foul early in this game, that's big for Syracuse and terrible for the Dolphins.
I mean, Karoma, he's gone 4 for 4 from the field. He's somebody that's also been very dominant for Lemoyne right now. And he's somebody that they have to make sure that he's not in a position to score and make sure that they're closing off attempts.
First free throw good for Donnie Freeman. That's the third foul against Dwayne Karoma, who has 8 of the Dolphins' 32 points in this game. We're tied now at 32 off that first free throw make, and now Syracuse jumps back in front, 33-32. A perfect trip to the line there for the Orange. Puts them back in front with 2:30 to play in the opening half. Tekken moves over left side of the wing, gets it to Bagatskis, who nails from 3.
That's a triple.
First one in a long time for Bagatskis from out deep. He puts the Dolphins back on in front by the deuce. Carlos works it left side, now into the near corner. Freeman knocks it out from the block to Carlos up top. Syracuse moving the ball around the arc, back down into the corner for Freeman. He's off target on a long 2. Final 2 minutes to go before halftime. Three-pointer on the way, too strong off the back iron from Trent Mascara. Keeping it alive is Syracuse. All the way into the courtside seats was Jair Davis. Carlos with it now down on the Lemoyne end of the floor. Moved it over to Freeman. Now back into the corner for Chris Bell. Check that. That's Lucas Taylor. Turnover for Lemoyne. They pick off a pass intended for Carlos. Tekken taking his time on the far side wing. Drives in left side. Pulled back at the free throw line. Nowhere to go. Fended off to Bagatskis. Bagatskis put up an opportunity. Freeman blocked it off the glass. They'll call him for goaltending.
That is another one of those rookie mistakes we talked about earlier, Caleb.
Taking a look at the Jumbotron there, it looked like it was just on its way down. Half a second sooner on that block, and it would have been legal. Starling over to Carlos now. Far side for 3. Too strong from Jair Davis. Down the floor comes Blakely and the Dolphins. Right hand dribble, moves it over to Mascara. Mascara spin move into the paint. Bagatskis throws it down.
Like I said earlier, man, Bagatskis is doing his thing tonight. He didn't see as much play again in their exhibition match, but it looks like they were saving him for the regular season, and he has shown up and is showing out.
Fred's Paul's Bagatskis, a big-time jam on Donnie Freeman. The Dolphins very much alive here at the JMA Dome. They now lead by 6, 39-33. Nate Champion, the head coach of Lemoyne, very excited about what his team has been able to do so far. You can see his body language all the way across the court, Kay. This is the start he wanted for his guys.
No, definitely. You can tell there's a certain type of momentum about Moyne. Maybe because they're excited they're in a Division I school, or maybe because they're playing in the Dome. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like at least 10,000 people here, Caleb, maybe even more. But I think this energy is what they've wanted. It's what they've been playing for. It's what they've been practicing for. And they're excited to be in the Dome, and they're making sure Syracuse knows that they're here. Yeah, we live down the street around the corner, and many may think we're friends. But on this court right now, we are not friends.
Nate Champion, another former player like Adrian Autry, in his 5th year head coaching the Dolphins. He's one of 3 players in Lemoyne history to score over 1,150 points in their career. He's at almost 1,300 at his time with the Dolphins, and he also has the record for the 3rd most minutes per game in history at almost 35. Very impressive playing resume for Nate Champion, and he looks to get off to another great year with the Dolphins. Would be huge to pick up a win on the road at Syracuse. Even though it's just 10 minutes down the road, still would go as a road win. Those very tough to win, especially when you have a schedule like Lemoyne. A lot of big names coming up in this roster.
No, yeah, definitely. A road win is a road win, Caleb.
You get at UConn November 13th. You've got at Notre Dame. A lot of big programs down the stretch for the Lemoyne Dolphins in their 2nd year at Division I.
And this gives them some type of competition to prepare for teams like those.
39-33 Lemoyne over Syracuse with less than a minute to go in the opening half. Caleb Spinner alongside Kay Racine on WSMC 44.1 at the JMA Wireless Dome. Opening game of the year for Syracuse against Lemoyne. Rebound pulled down from Jair Davis off a missed opportunity from Donnie Freeman. He put that one in from close, and it cuts the lead down to 4 for the Dolphins.
Jair Davis is somebody that's been put in for Eddie Lampkin, and he's been showing off, and he's been doing his thing. They're both, one's a grad student, one's a senior. But, I mean, Jair is showing right now that he wants it more, and Coach Autry is keeping him in because he's playing more of a poised game, but also because Eddie Lampkin has a couple fouls under his belt right now.
Zach Tekin drives baseline, gets one to go to put the lead out to 41-35 for Lemoyne. Final 12 seconds of the opening half. Syracuse looking for one more answer before they head to the locker room. Carlos, far side wing, moves it near side to Starling. Back over across the floor to Lucas Taylor. He's too short on his three-point opportunity, but it looks like they're going to get Bagaskis for his 4th.
Bagaskis' 4th foul already, and before the half, that's going to be tough. He's probably going to do a lot of sitting on the bench in the second half unless they absolutely need him.
Beg your pardon, that's the 3rd for Bagaskis.
Excuse us.
He's got a nice majority of the scoring here for Syracuse. 8 points already through the opening half. 3 of those coming from beyond the arc, and 3 more coming from the charity stripe off that foul that he had to start the game.
Yeah, that foul definitely set some momentum for this team.
First free throw from Freeman, good. Puts the lead 41-36. Dolphins over the orange. Second free throw in and out. Final opportunity, half-court heave for Blakely. Off to the left. Looked like it was going to go in for a minute, but then hit the glass. And we will end the first half with the score. Lemoyne 41, Syracuse 36. The Dolphins on their way to an upset. They need one more half to do it. Okay, this has been a back-and-forth game. The Dolphins came out first, then Syracuse began to answer. And late in that half, Lemoyne pulls out to another lead. What'd you see?
Man, I definitely saw a lot of miscommunications, a lot of rookie mistakes, a lot of mistakes that shouldn't be made on a level like this. This is the first regular game of the season, and I think Coach Autry just wants to set a tone like, hey, we're here, we're back in the Dome, let's play, but let's make sure we're playing together and slowing down. He's told them several times, keep it down, slow down, but I also saw that a lot of them were, missing shots that they normally make, and once you start missing shots, you get into a scared, mentality like, dang, I just missed so many shots. I can't take the shot again. But I think Coach just wants them to take those shots. You miss the shots you don't take, clearly. So if you just start taking your shots and building that momentum, they're going to be able to, pick everything up and keep it moving. They're only shooting 32% from the field right now, which is less than they normally have the past years. So in any games that they shot in 32% or lower, it has not gone as good for them as they wanted to go. So getting that shooting percentage up is really what is going to do it for them in the second half.
The Lemoyne Dolphins stunning the Syracuse Orange so far through the first 20 minutes. But there is foul trouble. We'll see if the Dolphins are able to keep their stars out on the floor as we head to halftime. Your score as we go to the break, Moyne 41, Syracuse 36. We'll be back for our halftime report at the JMA Wireless Dome after this on 44.1 WSMC.